Okay, let's dive right in. We all think of a mother's love as maybe the purest, most powerful force on earth, right? But what happens when that love gets twisted? When it's pushed so far, it becomes something truly monstrous. Well, this story is about exactly that. It's about a desperate choice and the absolutely terrifying price one woman had to pay. So let's meet Sushila. I want you to just picture this. She's watching over her 10-year-old son, Laksh, but he's just a shell. He's lying on his bed completely unresponsive. And this has been going on for a month. A whole month of him not moving, not speaking a single word. His eyes are open, yeah? But it's like he's staring at something, somewhere else, a place she can't follow.
Now her husband, Dheeraj, he's already started to mourn. He's accepted this as fate. But Sushila? No way. She refuses to give up. We find her out in these desolate woods, get this, barefoot. Her feet are literally bleeding on the cold earth as she prays to a goddess who so far has remained completely silent.
But then, a voice, it comes from the shadows. And a man appears, a mysterious figure. He's a tantric, and you can just tell he sees her desperation not as a tragedy, but as an opportunity, an opening.
So, think about this impossible choice she's facing. On one side, you have the world of medicine, right? The doctors have run all the tests, they say all reports are normal, but in the next breath, they say there's no hope. On the other side, you have this shadowy figure whispering about forbidden magic, promising the one thing that science apparently can't provide.
And what do you do in that situation? Well, she clings to that tiny, tiny sliver of hope. She decides to follow his instructions, so on the 7th night, under just a sliver of a moon, she seeks out the tantric, whose name is Bagheera.
The scene she walks into is deeply unsettling, to say the least. He's there, surrounded by these ghostly women, their faces completely hidden by their hair, just swaying and chanting. He calls them wandering souls that he controls, spirits, he says, who can see the past and the future. And then he says the creepiest thing of all. He claims they're the ones who told him she was coming.
He gives her these simple but chilling instructions. He promises a cure, and all she has to do is tie a blessed thread to her son's wrist and mix some enchanted ash in his food. That's it. He'll handle the rest.
But of course there's a catch. There's always a catch, right? The condition is complete surrender. No questions asked, just total submission to his power. And for a mother who feels like she has nothing left to lose, well, that's a price she's desperate enough to pay.
So Sushila goes home. She follows his orders to the letter, placing all her faith, everything she has, into this dark magic. And at first, it seems like a miracle is actually happening. The very next morning, her son, the same boy who hasn't moved an inch in a month, is up. He's walking around the room. He even smiles at her. Can you even imagine the relief, the absolute joy that must have just flooded through her? At this point, her faith in the tantric is absolute. This is it. Her prayers have finally been answered. But you just know that this fragile little bubble of hope is about to shatter. And it happens that very night. Laksh's behavior gets weird. His eyes turn red with this strange anger, and he starts making demands that are completely out of character. She realizes, that's not my son's voice. That's not my son's hunger.
And it just escalates. Every night it gets more violent, more disturbing. He's not just recovering, he's transforming into something else, something monstrous.
So she rushes back to the tantric, totally frantic, and he tells her the problem isn't just with her son, the evil is in her home. He convinces her that he has to perform cleansing rituals there, but, and this is a big but, only while her husband is away on his night shift. But one night, Dheeraj gets a frantic, cryptic call from a neighbor. All they say is, "Come home, now." He rushes back, a cold dread creeping up his spine, and walks into a scene straight out of a nightmare. He finds the house thick with smoke and the smell of blood. This ritual, it wasn't meant to save their son. It was a sacrifice. And his wife, the faithful mother he loves, is standing right in the middle of it all, her eyes vacant, completely under the tantric spell. Before Dheeraj can even process the horror of what he's seeing, the tantric twists the scene. He blows enchanted ash at Sushila, placing her completely under his control, and turns all her grief and confusion into a weapon aimed directly at her own husband. Believing her husband is the monster, Sushila lunges at Dheeraj with a dagger.
The blade cuts deep as he stumbles back, fleeing for his life from the very woman he loves.
So he's bleeding, he's desperate, and he's running through the forest. Now it's not just any night, it's a sacred festival, Ashtami. And as he runs, he's praying not for his own life, but for divine intervention, for some kind of justice against the evil that has destroyed his family.
He stumbles upon a makeshift temple, a small clearing where people are worshiping. He collapses right in front of the idol of the deity just as the bewitched Sushila catches up to him, dagger raised for the final blow.
But before she can strike, a priest, seeing the madness in her eyes, anoints her forehead with holy vermilion from the goddess's feet. In that one instant, the dark magic just breaks, it shatters, and the horrifying memories of what really happened to her son come flooding back. Just then, the Tantric arrives to claim his prize, expecting to find his mindless puppet. But he is no longer facing a broken, bewitched woman. He's facing a mother whose grief has been forged into a righteous, divine fury.
Something has fundamentally changed. She is filled with a rage that feels ancient, almost divine. Her husband looks at her, and he swears he's not seeing his wife anymore, but the living incarnation of the goddess Kali. Sushila confronts the evil that destroyed her son, and in one swift, final motion, she strikes him down.
And that leaves us with the final, chilling question. Was it a grieving mother pushed beyond her absolute limit who struck that final blow? Or was it something more? Was it a moment where faith and fury summoned a goddess to answer one last desperate prayer with a terrible and final judgment?